Iniziamo. Okay. Good afternoon. Let's start with this workshop, which is a combined workshop for the award for the challenge of the two challenges, the smeSpire and the NASA Worldwind. The idea of combining them together in this workshop is to give the opportunity to the audience to listen about the submissions that have been made from different perspectives. Let's start with the smeSpire part. I will start introducing very briefly the project for those of you who are not aware of the project, and then Umberto will present the mechanism of the challenge, and then we will go through the presentations of the submissions to the applications to this challenge, and then we will follow with the NASA Worldwind challenge. Okay. Very briefly, the smeSpire is an FP7 support action for SMEs, driven by SMEs, aiming to turn the challenges of the Inspire implementation into business opportunities for the Geo-ICT European SMEs. Why driven by SMEs? Because most than half of the partners were SMEs with key roles, one the coordinator, and other leading three were packages and consuming more than 1/2 of the budget, so playing a key role. But the consortium was very well complemented by other type of organizations, JRC, Catholic University of Leuven, environmental agencies of Czech Republic and Slovakia, and Tracasa from Spain, and Graphitech, which is a private research foundation. This is the logo, some features of the project. The main achievements, so the results of this project, was the publication of a report containing an assessment of the market potential of Geo-ICT for the Geo-ICT sector in relation to Inspire. It was the first study published on this sector, so very important as an initial step for further deep analysis. The methodology was very detailed, and we made a survey and then a lot of interviews in order to take the perspective directly from the SMEs, also in terms of knowledge gaps. So the second achievement was the development of a vocational training curricula for Inspire based on the identification of job profiles. We have been identified 3 job profiles which, crossing with the different business processes related to Inspire, enable the user to access the training platform in which 17 training modules have been are offered, are accessible. And if an SME or another user is willing to cover all the job profiles, is of course free to do. But if they want to detect just their own skill gaps or knowledge gaps, they can build their own learning paths in order to fill their gaps. The third achievement was the online catalog of best practices in Inspire implementations, which is a sort of public showcase in which the idea is to the result achieved that, for instance, if you want to learn best practices in terms of, for instance, of one of the phases of the SDI, like the validation on protected sites, or transformation in another theme, or some SME who made best practice in one of the European funded projects. There is a quite complex data model behind an advanced web application enabling to search these best practices in the different related to different implementations of Inspire. The fourth achievement was the creation of a database containing the profiles of, today we are almost 600 members of this network, mainly made by SMEs, but not only, also public sector, universities and research centers, so sampling the whole ecosystem. And so it is a public searchable repository of information related to players in this geo-ICT domain. The network, as I mentioned before, today is made by exactly by 581 members, of which in terms of geographical distribution are based 564 are based in 27 EU countries, so enlarging the initial geographical dimension of the 12 member states participating to the project, and also 17 from non-EU countries, which it was a good achievement because also outside Europe we found some interest. In terms of composition, the majority are SMEs, 419, but we have also 5 large enterprises, 33 public bodies, 60 individual consultants, and 30 universities and research bodies. You see how the coverage, the blue dots represent SMEs, and the purple one the other types of organization, and you see the coverage worldwide. Also, we had several dissemination events made by the partners, basically at the national level, in order to disseminate at national and local level the achievement made at the European level. And last but not least, the organization of the smeSpire Challenge, which is the topic of this workshop that is going to present later on. And even though the project contractually ended at the end of April, is still open, and we invite you to join us at this website, in which you will find all the resources that I mentioned before. So thank you, and I pass the floor to Umberto.
Okay, thank you Giacomo for your introduction. My name is Umberto Di Saso from Fondazione Grafitec, and in the first part of this workshop we will see the work that has been done for the organization of the smeSpire Challenge 2014. Well, the first sentence of this slide summarizes the objective of the smeSpire project that was described by the project coordinator before. The smeSpire is aiming to encourage and enable the participation of SMEs in the mechanism of harmonizing and making large-scale environmental content available. So, why a challenge? In this context, the smeSpire Consortium is proud to launch the smeSpire Challenge initiative in order to stimulate new business ideas from the Inspire implementation process, having GeoICT SMEs as a key player. GeoICTs, but not only, because the challenge was open to both registered members of the smeSpire network and not registered SMEs, as well as students, research center, public bodies, and individual professionals. The smeSpire Challenge had 2 tracks. The first track, Best Practice for Inspire. This track aimed at stimulating submission for best practice related to the Inspire implementation. And the second track, as the name suggests, open source software for Inspire. Submission within this track was based on open source software using a specific result from input provided by dataset harmonized according to the Inspire data team. Then additional usability points are being awarded for some software, and relevant project will be promoted to the arena program. Don't forget the award, the official award ceremony that will be held during the gala dinner tomorrow. Thursday, sorry. And now there will be 3 project presentation. The first one, Getlod, Link and Open Data and Spatial Data Infrastructure by Planetech Italia and Synergies. The second one, Open Source Software for Inspire, Get SDI Portal by Geospatial Enabling Technologies. And the last one, AIL, an interactive tool for mapping custom schema into Inspire. Thank you, and don't forget to join our community at database.smeSpire.eu/register.
So we'll share the microphone.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes.
You first.
Me first. So the idea, I'm Pier Giorgio Cipriano from Synergies, and
Massimo Zotti from Planetech.
And we briefly describe a project that have been undertaken in a couple of years ago in Regione Emilia-Romagna. We developed together a sort of wrapper, but I don't want you to anticipate anything, so we may go directly here. And this picture is, I know it is quite boring, and it is not convenient after lunch to see something like this because of it could break our digestion. But just to explain what it is, Massimo.
The aim, will tell you the aim of this implementation. We wanted to solve a problem that is more and more common in administration, that have a geoportal and an open data portal. That is sometimes the disalignment between the two portals that born, geoportals, they have a different story than open data portal that publish not only geospatial data but any kind of data with open licenses. So that was the case in Regione Emilia-Romagna, and we implemented Getlod, that is a solution to allow the extraction, the publishing, the dynamical transformation of geospatial data in linked open data. So this way we can keep aligned two different infrastructure, and that was the reason for developing Getlod. But then, of course, Getlod can have several other applications. So the Getlod is the connector highlighted in the red box. And the framework is the number of components, of course, is much higher and longer. And here we have a list of software components that have been used and addressed in order to fulfill the requirements that Massimo described. So to be able to publish automatically linked open data as RDF triplets into a SICAN repository, SICAN Open Data Portal solution, by connecting directly to WFS and CSW services. But since we are getting bored, Massimo and me prepared a sort of a very small sketch. So, no, I don't want to sing anything. So we want to explain the aim of Getlod in a very simple and hopefully nice way. And we put here a couple of characters. We call them Dr. Esco and Mr. Spire, talking about possible evolution of Inspire towards a lot dimension. So I am Mr. Spire.
Good afternoon.
No, with my voice.
Okay.
Good afternoon, and nice to meet you, Dr. Esco. My name is Mr. Spire. I'm going to make an interview to you.
Nice to meet you. My name is Dr. Esco, and I am an energy-saving company. My business is to provide solutions to reduce energy consumption of households, offices, and public buildings.
Oh, interesting. Can you tell us how this works?
Well, first of all, I collect a lot of data related to energy performance of buildings. I analyze them. Then I propose to the owners of such buildings some possible solutions to reduce their energy consumption and save money. If the owner accepts the proposal, I usually install smart meters to get real-time data and monitoring and monitor the consumption of my customer.
And which kind of data do you usually use? Do you use geodata?
Yes, of course. I usually need reference data like buildings, addresses, and cadastral parcel, and specific properties of buildings like energy certificates or electricity and gas consumption in the recent years, and furthermore heating and cooling systems installed. And of course also data about the context surrounding the buildings and themselves, like historical information about weather conditions, solar radiation, district heating, and so on.
Okay, but how Getlod can help you in your business? And what about the benefit coming from smeSpire?
Well, I spend a lot of time in searching and retrieving local data. And local data I need are usually from multiple sources. Even if available as open data, many times it is not easy to get them in a single click because they are hidden and they are not harmonized. And it is always painful to have them really integrated. It would be much easier if I could access interlinked open data in one click only from multiple sources.
I don't understand. Could you make an example, please?
Sure. Imagine I want to get data about a district, in a specific district in a municipality, let's say Reggio Emilia in Italy, with buildings and addresses taken from the municipal WFS service and energy certificates taken from a regional database, and photovoltaic arrays already mounted on roofs taken from the national service of the so-called Gestore Servizi Energetici, and moreover gas and electricity consumption of buildings units in 2000 and in a couple of years from the service provided by the National Tax Agency. In this case, Getlod could help the local administration to configure ad hoc downloads from different services like WFS and provide just the data I need already interlinked. Something like this. So with simple configuration interface like this.
So that means that the local administration can be a broker of different services and information coming from different sources. Yeah. And so what exactly can you use of this infrastructure?
Well, I can get both simple flat shape files from there, but also RDF XML encoded data, together with the metadata provided by catalog services, of course, if they are available at the source level, so at municipal or regional or national level.
So this way you can access interlinked data, the data you need, and you can access them on demand. So exactly when you need them, and then you can navigate them in one click, right?
Yes, exactly, and I save a lot of time, so I am able to produce a better proposal at a lower cost.
Oh, this is interesting if we also consider the recent researches. For example, the load for WFS recently presented at the Agile conference.
Yes, at the Agile conference last June, no, at the beginning of June, there was an interesting presentation from a German research center. I don't remember the name. For probably Münster University. Yes, yes, it is written over there. That is a complementary solution. So Getlod means starting from WFS for going to load data, RDF data. In this case, they presented exactly the opposite solution, from RDF to WFS services.
Thank you for this this interesting talk. Will you give me your number?
I will give you in private later. Thank you, Mr. Spire, and see you at the next year at the Inspire conference. We have to explain what are these two characters. Have you, since we are in Denmark, where the Lego was invented, we took these two characters that were the creator of the Lego company factory and his son. And if you haven't yet seen this interesting and beautiful movie, have a look at this URL. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for your presentation, and this is the first part of your prize. The second part will be provided during the award ceremony.
Okay.
Second project, Get SDI Portal by Geospatial Enabling Technology.
Excuse me, what is that PowerPoint?
Ask Mr. Esco and Mr. Shah, inspire us to how to share. To use.
Hi, I'm Theodoros Vakas. I will not be able to perform a sketch, I'm alone. I'm here to present our challenger, Get SDI Portal. Brief agenda, who we are, and an outline of our software. Okay, we are one of the SMEs registered in the smeSpire. We're coming from Greece. A company founded in year 2006. We're performing in the GeoICT arena, having expertise in Inspire and SDI implementation, also providing design and system integration, vertical solutions, training, services, and consulting also. We strongly support the open source and open data initiatives. A lot of our strength comes from our partners. Boundless maybe should be mentioned as a very important one. We are authorized. Partners of Boundless, also Intergraph. So we act both in open source and closed source environment. We also participate in European research projects. Publica Mundi is a very interesting one, where we practically evolve the SICAN platform with geospatial capabilities. This is our software, which is practically a web mapping platform developed from scratch. It's available as a free and open source project. License is GPL version 3, as free as it can get. It started in a project context for the Regulatory Authority for Energy in Greece. back in 2011, version 1 was delivered to address the needs for Inspire implementation and the corresponding Greek law. At that time, it was a client application, maybe more for viewing and searching through metadata catalogs. Today, after 3 years of development, we consider it to be a complete GeoPortal solution, addressing the need for access to data and metadata in a very easy and transparent way, exploiting the benefits that standards offer. It supports view, download, discovery services, also file-based data. Key features include advanced querying, selecting data, downloading. You'll see some screenshots afterwards. Federated metadata catalog search. We have a metadata catalog client implemented. Advanced styling, thematic styling on the web, advanced CRS handling, and typical WebGIS functionality, of course. Here is some snapshots. We have the information tool enlarged. We also have saving the selected. You can see on the upper point the save and the selection control. This is the one of the 3 ways to perform search against services: spatial search, attribute search, and combined. We assume that for this operation to be performed, that WFS services are also implemented. This is part of the of our metadata client interface on the left, and on the right the corresponding XML metadata record visualized. I won't expand too many technical details, so it's PHP on the server side, and it's based on open layers, XJS, Protostore, and GeoX on the client side. What we believe it makes it special, ready to deploy. You can have it up and running in your system in a few minutes. It requires a web server. Very modular in its design and implementation, configurable, expandable. We have a nice integration example with SICAN for the municipality of Gortynia in Greece. And again, it's free and it's open source. We're trying to make it as more to make it as much available in platforms as we can. We joined GitHub 2011, join up platform of the Inspire to the European Union. 2012. The Arena last year. We have also joined Transifex for multilingualism this year, and we participated to the challenge. Installation base, a lot of municipalities in Greece, the Greek Regulatory Authority for Energy. We also have installations abroad, Military Geographic Institute of Ecuador, private companies in Ghana and UK, Forest Resource Assessment project in Nepal, the academia. We're really glad about this. We get requests for from students that they want to make thesis, dissertations, who want to visualize data. It's their first contact with the geospatial technology. They are using our software. There are some examples. And we are also have some plans for its evolution. Editing through the web is ready for release. We are also about halfway for advanced printing through the web. Make it a WPS client to address transformation services and workflows through the web, and we're considering taking it to mobile platform also. That was all. Thank you.
Maybe we can make a picture. Thank you for your participation.
Go on the Washington Post.
This is the crystal plate for you. And thank you.
Another one.
Okay, another one.
Thank you.
Thank you. And don't forget, please, to sign the video photo recording. And last but not least, Ale from the Fraunhofer Institute for Computer Graphic Research.
Yeah, the sketch thing was a very good idea. Unfortunately, we didn't prepare one. We just have to convince you with the power of our work, unfortunately. All right. Okay, so yeah, good afternoon, everybody. And first of all, thank you for the opportunity to be here. Is it okay? It was okay a moment ago. Yeah, okay, great. So, yeah, I'm actually not with Fraunhofer anymore, but I used to be for 8 years and had a certain role to play in this development. So much of the original work was done by me, but then Simon took over together with Christian and a few others, and they are still ensuring that there's a huge amount of development going into HALE. So let's have a quick look at this. So HALE has quite a long history. It started out as something that we developed in an FP6 project called Humboldt, the Humboldt alignment editor, that's the original title. And there was quite a big group of people surrounding this and contributing to it. This later became the core partner set that was really interested in the whole project result, became the data harmonization panel, which I'm now also representing, being here. And however, there's also lots of other people that are involved via this way. So it's not just Fraunhofer and myself. It's also, for example, even in France, who are still actively contributing in many ways. DV from Italy, EFA from Spain, and HSRS from the Czech Republic. So when we got this award, we really thought, okay, I should definitely say that this is a work of many parties, not just from our group. And HALE has been around for quite a few years. So original development actually started in about 2008, but that was more or less prototypical work. You know, a new review comes up and we have to deliver something very quickly. Development in earnest started in about 2009. This is the commit timeline from this period of time. And what was actually missing is there's also a 2.9 release coming up just beyond the edge of the screen. So you have to trust me that the history will continue. And now let's have a look at what are we actually doing. So, as I explained, we've been working on this for a few years, but what's actually the main subject? And what we really thought about is this whole problem about data harmonization, and especially one particular aspect, which is solution reuse. On the one hand, we want to provide tools that everybody can quickly use to harmonize data, to transform it in such a way that it would be usable in any infrastructure like in smeSpire. But on the other hand, we would also like to enable people to really reuse what is developed here. And that includes solving aspects such as the different formats that need to be harmonized, but also conflating multiple representations, and also really dealing with all these classification systems that are around there, just think of white lines or rows or anything, and handling the definitions and semantics. And this was kind of the outset that we had, try to find a better solution for dealing with these problems. And what we did develop in this time frame, in more than the past 5 years, among other things, was a software called the Humboldt alignment editor. It was called like that because it's about aligning data models, so finding the correspondences from a source model and a target model, and doing so in a manner that an expert can easily actually define them and doesn't need to worry too much about programming or optimal execution orders or other problems. Okay, so now what about Inspire? Well, one thing is, first of all, the whole development of Hail was taking place in the Inspire context and also in the GMES context. So it was one big project which from the beginning on said, okay, we really need to provide tools to support the Inspire implementation. And so for us, that was a core requirement, and so to speak, our test number one. Are we able to take a data set and without too much hassle transform it into a fully compliant Inspire data set? And well, yeah, I think we are since some time. That's the good news. So what we're doing is, what you have to do if you use Hail is you use the software to create a so-called schema mapping. You select individual correspondences. And what the software then does is to actually derive a transformation from that. So you don't have to think about the order that you do things, and there's also not a lot of ways you can actually influence that. You just basically have to trust Hail that it finds a very good way of taking your schema mapping and making a transformation of the data from that, which will give you the data. So that was also a big difference to other approaches that were around 5 years ago. So you had either this or that. You had like these ontology mapping systems or format-based transformation software. We try to combine the advantages of both. And in Hail, that's really what you do. So you really define these correspondences in the Schema Explorer, which is this upper left component here. The correspondences are also shown here in this graph. But actually, what I believe is really the most important view is what you can see down here. Because in Hail, one principle was that you always get immediate feedback. So you make some change, and your data gets updated. You directly get information, how does it validate, is it complete, what does it look like. Yeah, so source schema, target schema, and the data views. Yeah, I've mentioned this 2 or 3 times. What we think is really, really core to a good schema transformation process, or for that matter, any complex process, is that you get immediate feedback. I used to compare this to bringing up a child. So those of you who have a child know that it's no use telling the child half a year after it did something wrong that this was a mistake. You need to get the immediate feedback, because this is a completely different mechanism in the brain for learning. If you do something and you get an immediate reaction, and it's the same about programming and many other engineering and other complex tasks. So one thing that we wanted to really ensure is that you would get this feedback and you would get it quickly. So the first thing, as I said, is that we ensure live transformation of the data. So we validate very quickly and we transform the data directly where it's necessary. This can be done both in Hail, but you can also use this as a web service or on the command line. However, another aspect where this feedback also plays a role is in actually getting the feedback from your peers, from your colleagues, not just from the system, but also being able to not just send an email, wait a month or 2, and then get a response, but also find a way about how to directly interact with other people. And this is actually something that we are working on with the next version. So the next versions, 2.9 and 3.0, which are on the roadmap, have a few, I think, nice to have productivity features, for which I'm sure some of our users will be quite happy that they are finally there. But the really big thing that we are working on is really trying to help people solve these really, really complex schema transformation tasks. So I just did an exercise a few days ago. I counted how many element declarations there are in ISO, Inspire, and OGC. What would you estimate? How many attributes, properties, etc. are defined in these 3 repositories? Thousands, yeah, 80,000. So it's a bit hard to actually find your way through this jungle. And this is just one of the issues that you're addressing. This is just the schema. It's not just the formats that you're working with or code lists, external ones that are used and so on. It's really, really a lot of aspects that you need to look into. And what we believe is that you should try to solve these problems together. So I mean, this is what this community is about. All the Inspire people have been working pretty well together from early on. But what we think is what's not optimal yet is the tools for actually making these things really intersect. And we thought for some time about processes, how we could change the mode of work that people interact with together to solve certain things. And this is just a very, very brief preview of one of these workflows. So we have a presentation tomorrow, which is going to deal with that specifically. And that will more or less be about something that we use now to complement Hail. So there's Hail, and there will be an online platform. And this online platform is mostly about effectively working together and being able to exchange information quickly. Yeah. And that's basically it. I just wanted to very briefly rush you through what is Hail doing and where is it coming from, and also to explain a bit of where we're going. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you for your presentation. The first part. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Good. Another one. Together. Is it like this? But yeah, focus. Okay. Thank you.
And please don't forget the gala dinner. This is the photo video. Okay. Now the first part of the workshop is concluded, and I will introduce my colleague Federico Frandi for the NASA Whirlwind Challenge. Thank you.
This is an introduction for the second challenge that we will present today, the NASA Whirlwind Europa Challenge, and its scope is to promote the virtual globe technologies to support delivering and analysis of geo-information. So this is the NASA Whirlwind Europa Challenge is split in part. One part today for the second part more academic oriented.